Woo! Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, everywhere there's going to be a clip of this or the live recording happening. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson, and welcome to the show. We're a little bit late today. The animals were actually slept in because they got up earlier in the day, and they decided they didn't want to wake up at the normal time, so we're a little over an hour late to our own show. So welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving today? What are you thankful for is the big thing. Us here, we're thankful for everybody that stops in, checks out the broadcast channel, orders artwork, and communicates with us because that's the cool part of what we get to do here is that we get to interact with a lot of different people on a regular basis from all parts of the world, and we enjoy that section of life. Um, I'm thankful that I'm like one page away, well, 1.5 pages away from having this 8-page comic book done, at least rough penciled in, and then I can go ahead and get it completely penciled in with tighter pencils and then start inking it up because the layout will be there. And he's been showing little pages and stuff like that here and there. This is what they look like a little bit if you look at it all together. You know, and I normally don't show the whole thing, but since he's showing the owner of Legacy Comics, since he's showing all the different things out there, the different processes as it goes along. I'll go ahead and show you one partial page that's lightly penciled in right there. I might not have any of my regulars on today because I told them I was going to come on, and then they were active, X amount of minutes ago, and they unfortunately I think went to bed because yes, I usually am on at 4:12 in the morning. Hence the time 412 Productions. The little logo that says 412 Productions on it. And even though this shirt was washed, it's kind of dirty. I got to look at my dishwasher, not dishwasher, my laundry, my washing machine, and see what's up with it because it's not agitating the way it should agitate. You know. Plus, we need to get in there and give it a good cleaning. You need to clean that thing every now and again. So, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? And happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there in the world. And hopefully, you all are doing great and are going to have a great Thanksgiving. Uh, I look forward to 3:30 here, our time, Central Standard Time. Uh, Cowboys play the Chiefettes today. You know, they already took down the Super Bowl chumps Sunday. So, and everybody had them losing that game. Well, 90% of America did anyway, including some diehard Dallas fans. Not me, though. I just wish my score was a little bit closer. The 32-24 that I predicted. 24 points was in there, but it was just our 24 points, and they only had 21. After they led two and I guess a quarters. And then they were shut down after that. Oh, but what are you guys thankful for? What's your Thanksgiving looking like today? You know, we're going to be spending it with family for a little bit. Um, and then we're probably going to do one on our own, like in a day or so after Thanksgiving. Got a turkey ready to brine up and have for ourselves. Do a little internal family, Thanksgiving meal. And so, what are you guys doing? What are you thankful for? And hello, Casey. I'm sorry I'm late, buddy. We overslept, and I hate that for everybody because I did tell people that I was going to be on live, and they showed up, at normal time, and nobody was there. Because the better late than never, exactly. Um, because the pigs actually got up a little later than normal this morning, about 1 ish, something or other. So that means they slept in, and so I didn't wake up until almost 5 o'clock. You know, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be on my live. And then I had to let them eat. Then I had to take them out to use the bathroom, and then they're back in bed already. And so there you go. But yes, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? I know you said you were gonna do some things, around the house yourself, Mr. Casey. Um, yes, and good morning and happy Thanksgiving. And we're gonna be spending it with family for a portion of it. Probably not all day, but for a good portion of it, we'll be over at their house, um, enjoying some Thanksgiving foods. You know, normal stuff that people like. The turkey and some ham and some dressing. And those of you that like pumpkin pie, I'm sorry, that's just gross. And that cranberry fluff salad stuff, that's nasty too. But that's just me. And you're just piddling today? Yeah, I'll be piddling until we go because I think we're supposed to be over at her family's house about 12 or 1, something like that, is when the festivities kick off. So we'll probably be over there around that time, probably a little bit earlier than that. So, Casey, since you're one of my regulars here, what are you thankful for uh, this year so far? You know, what are you thankful for? I'm thankful for, like I said, all you normals and the people that do hop on here for just a minute. And well, I appreciate that. You're thankful for this show. I appreciate that. I mean, we don't get serious all the time, but we do get to those moments where we have to dig deep and go serious on certain topics. And the two topics that we don't talk about here, religion and politics. So you can take those somewhere else. If you want to learn about those, go somewhere else. Not that we don't know about them here. We just don't talk about those here. I appreciate that I am in this exactly because some of us might not have woken up today. You know. Oh well, thank you. This is a piece of my artwork. You can order it if you like. You can hit me up in the comments, or not the comments, but the DM. I got lots of different shirts available right here. You know, lots of different shirts available for your viewing enjoyment that you can wear and support 412 Productions. Oh, there's one more after that. Doctor Doom right there. My Alice in Wonderland. So you can get those if you want one. Just hit me up in the DMs, or I can hit you up in the DMs as well. It doesn't matter because I'll go back and review all of the comments because I know I do miss some. And so yes, you can get one of these or any of my other shirts as well. We do custom orders, so once they get ordered, I have to order them out, and then they come to me and I send them directly to you. So because we can put them on T-shirts, hoodies, anything like that. So there you go. So, but if you seriously want one, hit me up, and we'll get you hooked up. All right. So, the things I'm thankful for, it's all of you guys that interact with the show, that come on here, um, talk about the artwork, my artwork, those type things, and because there's a lot of artists out there that don't get any recognition whatsoever, and I'm not seeking recognition for my artwork. I really am not. Because I know where I stand on my artwork. My artwork stands alone on its own, you know. And I've done a ton of artwork, like Beetlejuice back here, that hooks up with the other Michael Keaton Batman one. If I had another hanger back there, I would put it up there, and maybe we'll have another paranormal activity happen. With Beetlejuice flying off the wall like Chester did, who's still sitting on the floor. I mean, not Chester. It was Dexter. Dexter here flew off the wall. The last live. and there's no reason for it. And you know, he's a massive little piece too. You know, 18 by 24 piece right here. He is for sale. You can pick him up. Now, the cool thing about right back here behind me, Beetlejuice right there, he glows under black light and glows in the dark. So there you go. Well, he might not glow in the dark. It might just be black light, but he looks really cool. I need to get my black light hooked up in here for my black light pieces. But I'm thankful, like Casey said as well, that I was able to wake up today and be able to enjoy this day. Because, like I said, there's a lot of people that are waking up that have lost someone right before a holiday, you know. And I mean, heck, my next door neighbor, they just lost their mom and wife over here. And so um, they are waking up today with that hole in their body because, hey, that person is no longer here to enjoy this holiday with us. And this is our first holiday without that person, you know. And then my girlfriend's family is dealing with this same thing. You know, not too long ago, they lost someone that should be here for Thanksgiving, you know. And so, why am I getting a restriction already? We haven't even talked about anything. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? TikTok is limiting my reach because I'm talking about ordering stuff outside of the TikTok shop. Good God. TikTok, you need to get your head out of your ass. It is where that is. Okay? Because um, people are going to buy stuff outside of TikTok shop. TikTok shop isn't the only place to buy shit. Okay? So, yes, I am on a restriction, so give me just a second. I'm going to appeal progress, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if we get it reversed or not. But, you know, because I guess according to TikTok's rules, you cannot tell people to get stuff that you make yourself, you know. You can only do that if you have a TikTok store and are selling your products on the shop itself, you know. Um, so maybe I'll start doing that. Maybe I'll get me a shop and start peddling all my shirts out there um, for you know TikTok themselves, so they can get their cut. You know, because that's what it boils down to. TikTok's already making their cut from us because they keep a portion of the funds that we get in. Exactly, exactly, Casey. And they get a portion of what we rake in from the gifts and things that people give us. And now they want only approved products being sold on their shop. You know, they want you to have your own little channel for that. They want you to have your own little space for that. And they only want you to go live if you've got that going on. And it's kind of ridiculous, you know. So there's a lot of things that I'm kind of fed up with. So I'm not thankful for TikTok. Appeal not approved. So my restriction stands. So I'm very limited reach today. So if you are part of my friends list, you would be able to see that I am alive. And that's going to be about it. Sorry for that. And so it is ridiculous. You know, the restrictions that you get uh, from TikTok because what they'll send me is a thing that says this is why you were restricted, you know, because you said these specific things. Now, if I was talking about rude things, if I was talking about crude things, if I was making a schmorn right here with a blurred out picture, that would be totally acceptable. But let me talk about selling, you know, work not inside of this little box right here for you guys on TikTok, I get a restriction. It's fundamentally ridiculous, is what it boils down to. And there's some choice words that I'd like to say to TikTok, but I will keep it rated R for now. Because it is ridiculous that we have to monitor what we say as a creator, on this platform. Even though you get so many other people doing so much worse on this platform. And it is rather ridiculous. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So back to being thankful. Again, um, I'm thankful for, you know, my mother still around. She is in her 80s. That is my last living relative, if you will. Um, Besides, of course, like my brother, and then I've got one aunt left, and then cousins, of course. But as far as my side of the family, once my mother and my aunt uh, basically pass on, that's it. There is no more legacy on that side of the family. Um, my legacy isn't going to continue either. You know, because once my son passed, I've got nobody to carry on my lineage. You know, now I do have my nephew who is still part of the Anderson clan. You know, and then of course there's my brother's son. To carry on the Anderson name, but my side, that's over. Of course my daughters could carry it on if they wanted to, but you know, that's that's up to them. Because once they get married, their name changes if they want to change their last name, which not most, but a lot of women do. I'm thankful for TikTok and their regulations. I feel so safe knowing they're on it. Ah, I like that little jab right there. Thank you, Casey. Um, it's always a good time. No, you never know how to word things sometimes when it comes to certain situations in here, because one day you're fine, and ever since I've been on this platform, and ever since I've been able to go live on this platform, I have talked about selling artwork. Okay. And all of a sudden, this year has been the year of restrictions whenever I talk about someone, you know, ordering something. And all of a sudden, here comes that restriction. This is the second time I've been restricted for the same thing, for saying the same thing. If you want something, hit me up, you know, in the DM. So, I just, you get kind of fed up with some of the shit that they do sometimes. And it's just ridiculous because I can go in here because I found out how I can go in there and add more details to my stuff later. And, you know, us as independent artists should be able to, you know, sell our goods here easily. But if TikTok doesn't have their hand in it, you know, and oh well, this one is mine, and this one is yours. Which one is getting the bigger cut here? TikTok, me. TikTok, me. You know, and it is ridiculous that we have to. I just want to see, since we had some paranormal activity the other day. I just want to put this where we can see it. try not to hit the desk either. I just don't understand why they want to restrict as much as they do, especially when all that other stuff is going on TikTok that they know is going on. People have reported it going on, but it's not against their community guidelines. But yet, telling someone to come get, you know, a piece of work goes against their restriction policy. And I did it that way just so I could talk about it. But yes, glows under blacklight, looks very awesome. I need to get my blacklight set up for these pieces specifically. Um, and then what I can do as well is kill the lights in here, make it even more creepy. Because if you were on our last show, which most of you weren't except for Casey, the painting that I had up here, which was the Dexter painting that I showed a little bit ago, actually flew off of the hanger that's right there, and it shouldn't have, 100%, because it's a solid piece. Um, there is no, flexibility in it whatsoever. Um, it's a heavy duty magnet. It is. It's a heavy duty magnet with a plastic extension that comes off of it. Yeah, it fell. It fell. It went this way. It kind of went this way when it fell, and I've got two different angles because I've got a camera right here that films the whole room, and then I've got the camera that you saw here and the camera down here that all captured it at the same time as it fell off. You know, and you see it. Nothing is moving back here, and I've got the fan on high. The fan's on high. That's not moving. And yes, this is a bigger painting, but it wasn't even moving at the time. So, we had a little paranormal activity on the last show. So, it was kind of exciting, kind of cool. And yes, I didn't react to it except for, oh, look, the painting fell, which can lead a lot of people to be skeptics because I don't jump scare. Even walking through haunted houses, I'm like, hey, get ready. We're about to get, something. And then boom, there it is. And I'm like, good try. And I've lived in this house long enough to know that things are going to happen. It's just this time we caught it on camera, on three different cameras, actually, and nobody else was in the room, those type things. So, I'm thankful for the spooks that happen in here that actually we got to catch on camera this time. Not today, but I mean, maybe today. Maybe they'll show themselves today, like the cat ball right here. Maybe it'll go off, and who knows? If you are a spirit in here, the cat ball is right here. You can touch it, tap the table, do whatever you want to set it off. Because my hands are going to be back here the whole time, away from the desk. I've got that much room between me and the desk. Okay. Well, if you go with my body, I've got that much room. Okay. Right there. And so, um, my legs can't even touch the desk because there's a good 8 inches between me and the desk on the knees. So, all that good stuff. So, if anything happens, it happens on its own, and we'll know that it's a spirit moving it. But no, I'm thankful for a lot of things, just not TikTok sometimes, just not Facebook sometimes. Because I see a lot of my artist friends on Facebook that are getting restrictions on stuff. Am I going to watch the parade today? I mean, we'll probably try. We always try to watch the parade, but sometimes we miss it. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. What year is this one for? Like 710 or something like that. I can't quite remember. How many years that they've been performing it, but they always put a year with it, and I can't. I mean, now I think they're what is it? They just put 2025 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, or but they used to put a year with it. You know how many years they've been doing it, and I can't even think of how many years that they've been going on with it. So there's Audrey sneaking in right there. So everybody gets to say hi to Audrey. Boom, right there, right there. Just tell them happy here. Speaking to the mic, happy Thanksgiving. All that. You can barely hear her, but she said happy Thanksgiving. You can speak into that mic. It's a little better for them right here. She's a little gun shy when it comes to live audiences. What's she doing? Yes. Okay. How you can make your own out of a ground cat or something? Just kidding. There you go. Happy Thanksgiving, ma'am, from Casey. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, we do have that fresh. Well, I mean, it's different. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Grinding it up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we can do that. We can start trying it. Yeah. We do. We got a dog that's itching himself bald, basically. Well, but she doesn't. She's not as bad though anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Butthead. There's Dexter. He's our puppy. He's not even a year old yet, and he's already 80 pounds. Yeah, he's 80 pounds basically. He's still growing. Hi, Dexter. Hi, buddy. Don't knock all my stuff off with your tail going, okay, buddy? Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Yeah. He's a golden retriever. What? Border collie mix. So he's got a nice little brindle color to his fur. If you know what a brindle is, you can go look that up. And and there you go. So we had some guests today, and yes, his tail likes to knock things off because it's going 24/7. Kind of like Phoenix's tail, but it's a lot smaller. So, LOL, we didn't see that. Unfortunately, everybody did, you know, and it happens. But yeah, at least you didn't get to see mine. But yeah, no, it's no, I'm thankful for a lot of things. You know, like Casey said, waking up for another day and being able to interact with people. You know, not that I do it on a regular basis because I am a homebody and I like being home, but I still like being at the conventions and things like that. I do miss that. You know, so hopefully next year, God willing, and the creek don't rise, I will be, you know, in a little bit better place to, you know, be going to conventions with new merchandise, new product, new setup, and all that good stuff. So that is the end goal, is to get out of here, little fluff ball. That's the only thing I hate about having computers all over the place. Like this whole bank right here is computers over here, and so the dust bunnies get crazy up in here. So I gotta, you know, dust on a regular basis. So Thanksgiving is great once a year to be mindful of all we have. But see, that's the thing. Shouldn't we be mindful for the things that we have all year round, not just one day a year? Just like Christmas, you know, that is an overpriced holiday. Uh, for a lot of people, A lot of people can't even afford Christmas anymore. A lot of people can't even afford Thanksgiving anymore. You know, that's why you're seeing a lot more turkey drives and a lot more, you know, uh, food giveaways and from churches and things like that. And I know that churches get a bad rap. Um, just like that one TikTok story about the woman that called like 32 churches and only like three or four of them were like, "Hey, come on, we'll get you what you need. What do you need? All that good stuff." Um, you know, and I'm assuming it's a real story. Yes, yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. And there was a couple like that in Oklahoma, and not just in Oklahoma City, but in different parts of the town, or different parts of towns. You know, yeah, I'll check them out to see if Red Andrews is still around. Let me do this discreetly so I don't hit the cat ball. Oh, I touched it, but it didn't go off good. Okay, Red Andrews. See, I always write notes, or I'll forget. Organization. Okay, we'll see if Red Andrews is still around. Because yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. I remember it back in the day, and I never went to it, and we never went to it. Oh, you'll see. Okay, I mean, I'll do some checking around on it too. But if you do find something, I mean, I do have another computer over here, that I could look it up to see if it's still around. Um, it almost looks like a little boogie right there, but it's just my red hair and my white beard or my white mustache and my white stash. Um, Actually, let me do this real fast. Yes, Red Andrews is still around in Oklahoma City through the Red Andrews Christmas Dinner, a large annual event he started that continues in his memory. While Red Andrews himself passed away in 1977, the Christmas dinner tradition he founded provides warm meals and toys to thousands of Oklahomans each year. There is also a public Red Andrews Park in Oklahoma City. So it was founded. This event continues the tradition started by Ernest Red Andrews, who began inviting families to a Christmas dinner in 1920s. It has grown into one of the largest community dinners in the region, serving thousands of people on Christmas Eve. The park, named after him, is open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. So there you go. It's still around. And they probably do since it's feeding over, thousands of people a year and the toy drive that goes along with it. So, um, and then one bank decided they would be jerks. Frontier State Bank has made the decision to discontinue its support of the Red Andrews Christmas dinner. As a result, the bank will no longer blah blah blah. And they might have changed the arena as well, just because is actually 77 years old when he passed away. He was born the same year my great grandmother was. She outlived him. But he died about the same year my great grandfather passed away in 1976. He was known for his Irish copper hair. Irish copper hair. Huh. He was born in Houston in 1900. Migrated up to Oklahoma City. Sounds like my great grandmother. Because she was born basically as they were traveling from, I can't remember what state, but they traveled to Oklahoma City in a covered wagon. You know, they were farmers. And that's what my great grandmother did. I mean, she cut her own grass, she tended her own farm, or well, not her own farm, but her own garden. She had a lot of vegetables out there on a regular basis. And she did that until her stroke in 92. And then after that, she just kind of went downhill and then passed away at the age of 95. So she just wasn't the same after the stroke. Uh, but she was 92 years old too when she had her first stroke, you know. And so, kudos to her. And that's our family legacy. So I'm thankful for that. It's either longevity of life or tragic accidents. That's the two options you get in our family. It's unfortunate and it's not funny, but it's the truth, you know. So either you're going to live a long life or you're going to go in a tragic accident. My grandmother on my dad's side, my sister, my son, uh, there's a couple others in our family that passed on in a tragic accident of some sort or some kind of an incident. And then everybody else has lived to be in their 90s, you know, except for my grandmother. She only made it to 86, which is, only 4 years away from 90. But my grandfather who passed in 2010, he lived, till he was 90. So, and then my great grandmother, 95, and so on and so forth. And I had aunts and uncles that lived to be up into their 90s as well. So, um, and my mother, she's already in her 80s. She's not the greatest of health, but she still gets around and she still, is with us. But so thankful for the people that I do still have in the family, that I can, reach out to on occasion. You know, 106 is the record for my line, but I won't make that. You never know, Casey. You know, there stranger things have happened, buddy. Stranger things have happened. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look again on ours because I don't know if anybody's actually lived, and there probably has been, but I haven't really paid attention. Doing my lineage and family tree on LinkedIn, not LinkedIn. That's a different thing. On Ancestry. Um, I haven't noticed if anybody's lived over 100 years old. You know, so I'll have to check that out just because. Uh, it would be cool to know. Like you know your lineage right there. That 106. That's a pretty bold record. And you do hear people living to be about at what 120, something like that, which is unheard of. You know, except for Bible times, and that was people living 900 and some odd years old. Methuselah, 960 for Methuselah, something like that. But was their counting the same as ours today? Did they go by years at that point in time? All that good stuff. So, but I'm kind of thankful that we don't live 900 years, 969 years. So see, I was close. 969 years for Methuselah. Yeah. And did you have to sing the song in your head? There's some song with him in it, out there that the kids used to sing about Methuselah. So, um, but no, it's just crazy to think that people used to live that long or supposedly live that long. We don't have complete 100% record that he did, See, it's not invaluable. We talked about it today. You knew it, and boom, there you go. So it was a valuable commodity for today's show. Um, and happy Thanksgiving to you. And I appreciate that, Shoto. Just like we appreciate you. And happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. We are a little restricted today because we were talking about my artwork, you know, and TikTok didn't like that because it's not on their TikTok shop, you know. So we are a little restricted today, which is fine. It's not my first restriction. It's not going to stop me, you know, all that good stuff. Um, but yeah, it was a useful piece of knowledge. It's just like me. I've got so much, like you say, useless knowledge up here for certain topics and certain things. But if somebody comes at me with a topic, you know, I can usually answer to it. I don't know everything about it 100%, but and I will own up to that, you know. But I do know a little about a lot. And just because, you know, I have been around for 54 years and I always link something to my strings. That way I could never be taken down, so I could get taken down. Well, that's a good way to look at it. And I'm trying to wrap my brain around what that means. Sorry, Shoto. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm rereading everything in there just to understand that statement. You know, but I think I understand what you're talking about right there. But I could be totally off base and then get tagged out. I get cover your losses. Yeah, 100%. Cover your own ass. Oh, I appreciate that. If I get kicked down, I called what the fuck. I was promoting your stuff. Well, I appreciate that. No, I really do. And you know, and that's where the like, shares, and the follows come in. You know, because once you share it off to somebody else, maybe some of your followers come over here and hit us up, and maybe they just like the artwork too. You know, you never know, because I do have a lot of different artwork, just like Mr. Beetlejuice back here that glows under black light. Um, and so, but TikTok doesn't like a lot of things. You know, um, especially if it's not a part of their money making scheme to, you know, take a profit from us, just like I demonstrated just a minute ago. Here's TikTok, here's me, and you can see the difference in the size. So this is their cut, and then this is my cut, you know, if I were to be selling on their TikTok shop. But you see a lot of creators that are like, no, I make a lot of money on, you know, selling goods and stuff like that through the TikTok shop and all that good stuff. It's just like, we'll see. You have a brilliant personality. Who, Shoto or me? Because Shoto does have a brilliant personality. So do you, Casey. Oh, you. Oh, you. See how I did that? If Roy was here, he would love that statement. Oh, you. You know, he hates that I tell him that I call him an OU fan or even a Oklahoma City Thunderhead. You know, because he hates anything from Oklahoma, which I don't get. But you know, it to each their own. You know, he's a die-hard Hags fan and a Lackers fan, and you know, to each their own. They can have those funny teams out there like that, and so. But yeah, but no, I appreciate everybody that does come in here and you know promote the show, share the show out, talk about the show, you know, negative or positive. You know, there are some dry days for our show. I can't lie. Um, and and it's just like you're not always going to have an exciting 100% show like some people out there because I'm not a gamer. I don't come on here and promote Twitch things or um, gaming products or anything like that. You know, I'm on here promoting my artwork. I'm on here talking about horror movies. I'm talking about sci-fi movies. I'm talking about comic books, comic book artwork. My artwork, my comic book stuff. You know, just like I'm 1.5 pages away from getting this 8-page comic book booked in or penciled in. You know, and once that's done, then I can go back in, tighten everything up, and then start inking it all, and then get everything scanned in and into the computer and get the color, to get the black in there, and then the pops of red where it happens. You know, and so I'm looking forward to all of that happening. And so, it's just like, is it slower than I thought it was going to be? Of course it is. I thought I would already have it done. And, well, I appreciate that too, Casey. But see, it doesn't even show me that you're on right now. It shows I have 0 viewers right now. But yet, here you are still talking to me. How is that possible? Is that how they try to dim my light? By showing me that I have no viewers out there whatsoever? Even though I'm watching people pop on, pop off, those type things. And Casey says, you lose many by being above average. And I appreciate that. I try to be somewhere in there. Weird, maybe, but I guess I don't need that note anymore. Since we already found out that Red Andrews is still going on since the 1920s when it started. And and it started because he used to do underground boxing, not underground, but basically little league boxing, if you will. It wasn't the big boys boxing. And then he started noticing the conditions of how his uh, boxers lived, and so, well, I did a little bit ago because I was like, "Is that a booger right there?" So I was looking up at my screen, and it's just like, "Oh no, that's just my red mustache right there going into my white." So it just looks like a boogie right there because it looks like a boogie up here, on this one, but down here not so much. And that will bore many out. No, I get that, and I just don't understand some people's broadcast channels that are out there that are talking about. I mean, I get the immaturity level. Trust me, I do. Um, but I just don't get people wanting to go to that channel just for that, you know. And here's Audrey popping into the show. Welcome to the show, dear. And so, um, just like she watches a guy called T Tone. Now they are a little immature, but he makes it a little more fun. I mean, he tries to keep it toned down a little bit on his show, and it doesn't always work that way, 100%. But he's he still has a huge following, you know, because he does live gaming of horror games on a regular basis. HORROR, you know. Exactly. I mean, there's a place and time for it. Just like during Thanksgiving dinner, you can bring up certain things like that. Or people have eaten so much, they're going to be doing the latter, after the fact while they're napping, because of all the stuff in the turkey. And, they'll be sitting there and people will be like, and so, those type of things. But no, no, we don't talk about that type of stuff here. We talk about, fun stuff. I mean, not that that isn't fun on occasion, but we do like to talk about, horror movies. I watched some really good horror movies here just recently. Um, The Sticks was a pretty interesting one. Um, what other ones did I watch here just recently? And these are I'm not gonna say big budget movies. You know, I love the sound effects. Well, that was just one of. Um, and these aren't like your big production movies that you see out there, like a Nightmare on Elm Street, a Friday the 13th, or anything like that. These are a little bit more lower budget, what people will be calling a B movie or even a C movie at that. Um, but there's been some really good ones that I've been watching on Amazon Prime and uh, what's called Popcorn Flicks, I think it is. It's a free channel if you have streaming service. And um, yes, you have to watch ads in between, on Popcorn Flicks, but it's not horrible. Sometimes you're having to watch like two or three ads before you get back to your movie. It's kind of like watching a TV show on on your regular television, and the commercial breaks in, so you get a commercial break in there. And so, but there's some pretty good ones out there, and like I said, I've been watching several here lately while I'm doing artwork, so I'm kind of watching them. But they've been really decent, really good. Uh, Not really, you know, uh, scary for me anyway. Now it could be for some people on certain ones. Um, but yeah, there's been some decent ones that I've been watching here lately, and I give them a good thumbs up, and I can't give them two thumbs up. Like on some of the streaming services, you can get I really loved it or I liked it, those type things. So we I keep you know I keep opening my horizons to some of these newer stuff, and I've still got to watch Enthralled. It's on Apple TV. I was in it, and I haven't even watched it yet. And so I need to get in there and watch that. Um, I need to watch Masquerade again for my role in that. Another low budget movie that I was in. And then I got to get my voice acting stuff sent over for this new Power Rangers movie. What is Enthralled? Enthralled is a movie, a horror movie. Um, I don't know 100% what actually it's about. Give me just one second. And let me just double check to make sure this is the right one. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so an ancient curse haunts a widow and her daughter when they move back to the mother's childhood home. As strange things start happening, the daughter seeks answers from her mother and the town, both of whom are holding on to their secret carefully. When she finds a forbidden book, the terrifying truth unfolds. She holds the key to whether or not the curse continues through her unborn child. There you go. That's the synopsis for Enthralled. And I'm trying to see. It released earlier this year. It's an hour and 52-minute runtime. So it is a feature length film. And again, I am in it for a short bit. I am a paramedic. You don't actually get to see me. You get to see a portion of me, that is. And, it is pretty cool. I mean, to see this unfold. And it's actually really well done. So it doesn't look like a low budget film, if you will. Yes, I'm in it. I play a paramedic, but again, you only get to see me, a portion of me in this one. Now, as in the other one I'm in, the Jason Pitts movie Masquerade, which is out there on some of the streaming services out there, uh, by Jason Pitts. you get to see um, me, and I got a voice role as well in it. So so that was fun. And again, I was a paramedic in that one too. So you know, and there you go. So yeah, I've been in two films. One's a short film, one's a feature film, and then I've got the voice acting stuff going on. Uh, I'm hoping to be in some more films, of course, as we move forward in life. You know, and I know I'd like to play some of the villains in some of the shows. What can I watch those, or where can I watch those? Okay, like Enthralled is on Apple TV, so you'd have to pay for it. But there's probably some other options to watch it out there as well. It's like a $2.99 or $3.99 rental or something like that. And then the Jason Pitts films, you can find those on YouTube. I know that for a fact. So Masquerade, The Forest Through the Trees. Um, it's Alone. It's the Alone trilogy. So it's Alone starts it out, Masquerade, and then there's another one after that, and then he did a full length feature, which was Forest Through the Trees, which is out now. Which I haven't seen that one, but I do have props and stuff in it, just like Audrey has props and stuff in that one. I've got props in a lot of different people's movies when it comes down to it. So because that's how I got started and hooked up with Jason Pitts, a local movie producer, and we're actually uh, in the process of doing a comic book together as well. But I haven't got on his yet. I haven't got on ours yet. So I've got to get in there and read what he's written because what he wrote previously was pretty good for the comic book. So I've got to get in there once I get all this other stuff taken care of and sent out to people. Then I got to get that going. So, uh, but yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts happening, and I've got my hands in a little bit of everything, from acting to voice acting to artwork to all that good stuff. So, um, and maybe one of these days, my voice will be lent to some comic out there or cartoon out there or some big feature film or something like that, a narrator, those type things. So we'll never know. It would be kind of cool. And as I'm looking at some of my pictures up here, I gotta reframe some of the pictures in there so you can see the autographs and get those straightened up. I gotta get some more frames for the rest of my artwork that's floating around here with the mats inside, but I've got to get them rematted and all that good stuff. But that's just me. I gotta get. It's just things I look at as I'm sitting here. It's just like, oh, well, that one's got to be straightened back up. Got to use the blue tape on it so it doesn't destroy the paper. Got to get that one back in place. I got to get that one back in place. That one needs to be moved up, but it doesn't have a mat in it like the other ones do. And then as I look up here, it's just like, oh, I just got to get that taken care of. So many things you want to do, so little time, so little time. But yes, we've been talking about Thanksgiving. We've been talking about what we're thankful for. We've been talking about the movies that I've been in, Masquerade and um, Enthralled. And then I've lent props to pretty much everything that Jason Pitts has done for the most part. Missing person posters, newspapers, all kinds of different things that I have helped with when it comes down to it. Uh, it's just been fun, you know. I wish I had a better, bigger printer that I could do, you know, full on newspaper size stuff in, and use the newspaper print to do it with, you know. But I don't have that capability at this point in time. because making full newspapers is pretty cool and pretty fun. So, but no, I look forward to the adventures that life brings. So I'm thankful for all the different avenues and ventures that I've been in so far. You know, and I look forward to the future. You know, where does the future lead us? What does the future hold? You know, and we all just have to look forward to it, to something. You know, for the most part. But but I am thankful for each and every one of you that stop in, check out the channel, like, share, and follow. You know, and go up here to my page and hit my other socials on Facebook, Instagram, uh, YouTube, and of course, like I say, you're always here on TikTok when I go live. I'm sorry that we came on a little bit later. I'm thankful for all the people that have floated through so far. And, you know, I am going to kill it for today because it is Thanksgiving and we got to start prepping some things to take with us to our next stop, which is going to be, you know, the Thanksgiving dinner with the family. But I do appreciate each and everybody being here with us and checking out the channel. And you have a great day too, and she'll have a good day. She'll be around family, you know. And as I like to say as I leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.